I just quit. I quit my job and I walked out. And I have no idea what I'm gonna do. But I cannot do the 8 to 5 thing anymore when your mental health is just wrecked. And it was not a good thing. And it wasn't gonna get better. So I quit. I live alone. I pay all my bills by myself. And now I don't have a job. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. No idea. But I've been an executive assistant for 10 years now. And the man I'm working for now is awesome. It's not him. But I'm making $22 an hour, which is fine. I was paying my bills. I was covering everything. But I think I could go to probably the local fast food joint and get close to that working there. That was not the issue, though. That honestly was not the reason I left. I'm just saying that I can probably go to the local fast food joint and get the same amount. But I'm wrecked mentally. I'm wrecked. And I can't keep doing it. So, I guess I'll go home.
Have you ever been at a job or a place or in a room with people and the energy is just so thick and negative that it's just overwhelming, that it just pulls you? And no matter how much you try to put a smile on your face, no matter how much you try to be positive, it's too much at times. Be mindful how you treat people when you don't know what they're going through. And I'm crying because God blessed me with this job. And He knows, God knows, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for everything that I get. I truly am. But every day that I come into this place and I try my best to be the best version of myself that I can be, at times it's too much. You know, you deal with people in leadership that get blessed with titles, but then they have the audacity to treat people a certain type of way. And normally I don't get on here and I don't cry. Normally, you know, I vent to God and I vent to my wife. But today, I just decided to get in my car and just cry because I'm such a good person. I really am. You can talk about me. You can treat me any kind of way, which I have, you know, and I'ma still be cool with you. I'ma still pray with you and for you because I'm just that type of person. No matter how my human flesh feels in the moment, because it's natural that when people hurt you or treat you a certain type of way, you know, emotionally you react, you know, right? But at the end of the day, if anybody asks me for anything, God knows I would do it because that's the kind of person that I am. But every day I walk into this job with a manager that handled me like I did something personal to her. And I sit at my desk. Many other times, I don't even leave the building or leave my desk once I get there. I go to my desk, I sit there, I may go to the bathroom, I eat at my desk, I work through my lunch. I may go outside to walk and talk to my wife. But I don't leave because I feel like being watched, you know, everything that I do, I'm being micromanaged by a boss that I feel like is envious or jealous or whatever it is. I have no idea what it is because the energy is up and down. I just can't even call it. You know, one day, you know, she's like this. The next day, you know, she's a different way. You know, every day she's coming at me with different things. And it's just overwhelming because that's not the person that got presented to me when I interviewed. I'm in a room with a woman that don't even believe in God, don't believe that there's a heaven or a hell or any of that stuff. None of that stuff, you know. Was bringing my Bible to work, reading it on my downtime, and was getting talked about and being made fun of. You know, it's hurtful because I don't have to try hard to be a good person. It's just in me. So when I go in spaces, you know, it's difficult for me to process and understand why people do the things that they do because there are some choices that they make at the end of the day. You know, I have people that walk past me in leadership, don't speak, and look at me like I'm nothing. And the energy today was just so much, even at how my boss comes at me or talks to me, you know, like I'm not a grown woman who's been in your position before. And titles don't mean much to me. It's how you withhold them and how you treat people that matter to me. And if I can share anything on today, be careful how you treat people, especially in seasons when you feel like you don't need them or they're not beneficial to you. You don't know what struggles people carry. You don't know what people encounter or go through. I have been through so much in my life. It's only the grace of God that I'm still here maintaining myself and my composure and being the strong woman that I am. But I know that God knows my heart. And like I said, normally I pray and I vent to my wife. But today, you know, sometimes I don't want to overwhelm her because we also have to understand that when we're emotionally frustrated and overwhelmed, sometimes that download to the next person can be overwhelming as well. My wife is always receptive of everything. She's truly loving and caring, and I thank God for her. But today is just one of those days where it's just a lot. And you're supposed to be able to walk into your workplace, to be able to do your job, right? You know, I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I try my best to watch what I say and watch what I do when, you know, I'm at a place where I feel like I can't make mistakes, you know. And I feel like the best version of me that I'm trying to be is the version that some people don't like, because what you see in me, you don't see in yourself. Now, although today is overwhelming, I had a general VP manager, and he plays a lot with a lot of the employees, and he talks loud, and he's just a truly extrovert person, you know. And he came into my office today, and he gave me like a pump on the fist, and he said, "I like you. You're quiet, you're professional, you respectful and you mind your business. The one person that has said that, everybody else look at me like I'm a problem, or they treat me like I'm a problem, or they straddle the fence, that two-faced behavior, things that I can't relate to because I'm not that type of person. But I just pray that people do better. They really do, because you never know what storms a person is dealing with, their trials. It takes a lot to be a woman, a mother, all of the roles that we possess. You're trying so hard to be a good parent. You're trying so hard to be a good wife. You're trying so hard to be a good daughter, a good friend, a good worker for women. I feel like we encompass so much. We deal with so much. And if I can share with another woman, or it doesn't even have to be a woman, individual, don't give up. God sees your heart. God sees everything that you go through. And God doesn't make mistakes. So no matter how overwhelming it gets, I know that God's will prevail. I know that this is just temporary. I'm claiming that I'll be able to retire and I'll be able to work for myself. Or God is going to place me in a leadership position where I will be able to be impactful, and that I can show people in leadership how people are supposed to be treated and how you conduct yourself when you get into a leadership position. I feel like sometimes we as Black women in leadership, we have to do better. We really have to do better. We have to stop looking at each other as though we're the enemy. Uplift your sister. No matter where you are in your position of your job, that person is placed in your path for a reason. And you can either be impactful or you can be a hindrance to your own blessings and block them by how you treat people. I thank you for listening. I know this was long, but pray for me, because it's just so much in that place today. And I just had to come to my car and just release it. And I know God is gonna, this is temporary. It's temporary. You go on and have a good day. And don't you go running nobody else's. And thank you for listening.
I can't do this anymore. I can't. I just can't. I can't. It's the weekend and I'm already just a little while away from having to go back to the same job that I've been praying for God knows how long to be able to leave. And I've been applying and I've been looking, but I'm not finding nothing. I can't do this anymore. This is not the life I chose. It's not the life. This is not. I chose it, but it's not the life I prayed for. It's not the life I wanted. Why me? Why does everyone else get a chance to be in a better position? I know I'm a good person. I promise you, if you've ever met me, you know I'm a good person. I don't do nobody wrong. I do anything to help people that I can. Like the Bible says, you reap what you sow. I've sowed so many positive seeds. I've been a great person in the world. Why don't I, where is the turnaround for me? Where's the turning point for me? Why am I so stuck? Why can't I find what I'm looking for? I just want to have enough to take care of me and those that I love and to just have an enjoyable life. But I'm stuck. I'm so stuck. If you can relate to that video, I just want you to know you're not by yourself. There are thousands, millions of people who feel the same way you do. But then there's those few people in the world who decided that they got tired of feeling that way and decided to take aggressive action and do something about it. Yeah, I could sit here and validate and affirm you and your emotions and your feelings, but when we get done doing that, what then? What we gonna do now? Because Monday is coming, Tuesday is coming, Wednesday is coming, Thursday is coming. You can't keep living your life just for the weekend, hoping that one day something will just fall in your lap. It's not coming. You have to be the one that create it. You have to be the one to go get it. You have to be the one to step out on faith and stop being driven by fear. I was in your same shoes. And then one day I decided to take action. And I would love to share with you what worked for me. And I don't got time to be trying to sell you nothing that's not going to work. I'm only going to give you truth. But the reality of it is this. Some of us would prefer to live a lie than step out on faith and face the truth. If you want truth that could change your life, comment below truth. But if you prefer to stay stuck, then I'm praying for you.
I've been working for IHOP since August 2019. I got hired by my amazing manager, Edgar. Era un pan de Dios. There was never a bad word of how he treated his employees. Everybody felt welcome. Llegabas a gusto al trabajo. It was a place you'd like to work at. The part that he hired me being overweight, almost at 295 pounds, and he gave me the opportunity and didn't judge me by my physique, what other restaurants did. Because of course, who's gonna hire someone overweight? He was patient with me. He taught me. He saw potential in me. So I stayed. But in 2022, he passed away. And of course, they had to find new management for the restaurant. And that's where they brought in the current manager. His name is Josue. And that's where hell on earth started for me. And I know people are gonna be like, oh, you're so dramatic. But if you guys could just understand where I'm coming from. Take a moment. My hours from being 40 a week, they went down to 15, 20. From me opening 6 in the morning, I come in at 9. From me leaving like at 3, I leave at 11. Sometimes I come to work for an hour or 2 before he sends me home. He gives preference to other people who just started for this company. His excuse is, I don't work enough. I don't give enough. I don't do enough. He's always finding every excuse to get under my skin. For me, the last straw was today. Just a week ago, I'm always trying to talk to him. I'm always trying to communicate with him. I'm always trying to, Josue, I need my job. I need to pay bills. I need to pay my rent. Like, please, understand me. Like, please. And he always adds, if you don't like it, there's the door. If you don't like it, there's the door. You already know where the doors are. You could quit. But he doesn't understand that I've been here such a long time. Like, why does he have to be like that with me? Why? Like, what did I do to you? What got me today was that 2 co-workers had an incident yesterday where they don't get along. And first thing he told me was, one of them is a close friend. He told me the first thing, you better not go tell her anything that you overheard here if we're gonna get her in trouble, because the consequences are gonna be on you. And I was like, why me? Because I was there. Because I haven't had incidents with this other coworker, but I mean, I'm an adult. I understand, like, okay, cool, like, you know, it's just childish things I let go. So this morning I was good. I came to work. I was good. I was okay. This morning, he pulled me into the office. He pulled another coworker in. And he tells me, can you tell me what happened yesterday? The other coworker said the situation. I said, my situation? And when I said my situation, the other things didn't matter. He said, oh, so it started because of you and not because of me. Like, one of the coworkers told me, hey, can you tell the other coworker that she needs to, like, clean up one of her tables? And I'm like, sure. I didn't see it as a bad thing. So I went to go tell her. So what he told me was like, oh, so this is your fault. And I'm like, what do you mean it's my fault? Like, I just told her, I never said it and I never meant it in bad intentions. Like, I'm so tired of you. I need to get rid of you. And I'm just going to go talk to the, you know, the people, the heads of IHOP. And I was like, what? And from then I triggered my anxiety and I collapsed. And I had a table, my first table at 11. Sorry, 10:30. From coming in at 9. And I had to go hide in the stall of the restroom because I couldn't talk, because I couldn't control myself, because I couldn't breathe. Like, this motherfucker is good, he's okay, while I'm right here. And at this point, I really don't care no more. It has come to a point where my husband had to come for me to the parking lot. Yes, he wanted to stand ground and talk to him. He's like, why do you treat her like shit? Why do you always make her cry? Why does she always have this anxiety attacks that she cannot control? Why do you do this to her? He's like, back off, back off. Why? Just answer me that. He's like, oh, she tells you that. Like, I already know what he's gonna do next. I already know. This man has put me through hell for the last year and a half that he has gone through this store. If you think management, if you think people like this could run restaurants, then you're absolutely wrong. Because that's one narcissist right there. If corporate wants to see this and they want to fire me for this, go ahead. But I'm done. I'm done staying quiet. I am done. I have dealt enough with this person. He's already abusing my mental health. I'm done.
The day that everything changed for me at my toxic job is the day that I had to run out of a meeting with my CEO and run to the bathroom, where I collapsed on the floor and cried as hard as I've ever cried before for a good 10 minutes, never really knowing if anybody was going to walk into the public restroom at any time and find this 40-something-year-old woman having a breakdown on the floor of her place of employment. And I felt completely broken and defeated and really unsure of what even the fuck just happened to me and where I was going to go from here. It's been over 3 years since that happened, and I now know that had been building up inside of me for months before it finally all came out. My body had really been sending me signals: the sleepless nights, the upset stomach, the startle reflex, the anxiety, the rumination, all of these things that I had been going through. Those were signals that my body was sending me, information that my body was telling me that something was not right and something needed to change. And what I did, which a lot of people do, is I came up here and I tried to rationalize it away or intellectualize it away or tell myself that I could handle it and I would just take care of it. And I sort of just shoved everything down. And I now know that only works for so long. That is a temporary solution. If you are shoving everything down, eventually it is going to come back up when you are in a toxic workplace like this, because the threats are going to continue to be there and your body is trying to alert you of that, and it's just going to get louder and louder and louder until you are forced to listen.
And yes, I quit my job without having another job. It is not the end of the world. You want to know why I quit my job? Because my mental health was depleting. I said I wasn't even going to come out here and talk about it. But you know what? We're here now. So yes, I put in my resignation. No, I did not have a backup plan. I did. I do. But has it came through yet? No. But another reason, I wasn't finna do another one of those one-on-one meetings. Because if I can't move up in a company and have tried another little mid-year check-in bullshit when they tried to tell me that I ranked number 8. Well, they didn't try to tell me. They did tell me. I ranked number 8 out of 102 people. So when I tried to get a different position, they didn't give me the position, talking about they chose other candidates and didn't get no feedback as to why. And then tried to be trained in specialty calls and couldn't. You're cut. You're cut. And then tried to tell me that I wasn't professional. Yeah, I wasn't professional to y'all bitch ass. I was not. I done cussed out every damn body. Well, in a professional way. But yes, I done cussed out my boss, her boss, HR, the employee relations. Because y'all aren't for your people. then I'm taking twice, if not 3 times more than calls than everybody else because y'all trying to tell me that I'm efficient. But with the same pay, you're cut. You're cut.
Some people just don't like you. Same conversation I have with my daughter. Some people just don't like you. Same thing happens at work. I had a supervisor that did not like me, no matter what I did. And for people that know, because I just told them this story a million times, but I'm usually responsible for the communications, employee engagement, all of that. And she hated me. She hated me. I never did anything to this woman. Everybody else loved me, loved working with me. If this woman could have put a pip on me, she would have, but I got promoted before she could. So what the thing that was the last straw for me was when we were in front of the executive leadership and they were complimenting me and say, bless your heart, Helena, you do so much work, you do a great job. And she said, in front of all these people, it still ticks me off. She said, co-pilot could do that. Completely undermine my value in the entire department in front of everybody. And I had to bite my tongue. And I'm like, I'm not even the type of person to bite my tongue. And being in that uncomfortable situation where I felt like, I said, well, yeah, let it do it. And then the next week I was applied to another position and was promoted within a couple weeks, and I was out of there because I refuse to be disrespected like that. But there are people that genuinely just will not like you. And you guys acting like people just only get pips because of something they've done wrong. It's genuinely people that will sabotage you, that are the villains in your career.
You know why a lot of these jobs are short-staffed and have high turnover rates? It's not because people don't want to work. It's not because people don't need to work. It's because of management. It's because of management. It's because of y'all team leads. It's because of y'all store managers, y'all general managers, your shift supervisors. All of those people, it's because of them. Number one, they allow the position to go to their head. That goes without saying. We all know that. But I would say in time for number one, like 1A, is when corporate comes, y'all will literally throw good employees under the bus even when there's no need to, just to make sure that you look good, just to make sure that you're doing your quote-unquote job, when we all know that majority of the time you're not doing what you're supposed to do. But when corporate comes, you want to make it seem like you're running a tight ship and everything is just a-okay all the time, when you know good and well that is not the case. A lot of y'all are going to run these people's businesses into the ground.
I just quit my daycare job mid-shift. I literally clocked out and walked out. I've been working at this daycare for 3 months now, and I'm in the 1-year-old class. It has been absolute chaos the entire time that I've worked there. Imagine walking in at 7 in the morning, and instead of having teachers that are there to support you, you have a room full of crying babies, poopy diapers to change, violent children to separate from one another, and instead of people being there to support you, they just sit there and hover over you the entire time and tell you everything that they think that you're doing wrong, even though they get to be in the classroom and then leave. Today I just hit a point where I was like, I literally cannot do it anymore. All of the kids were crying. My boss came in and they had several floaters in the room who all wanted to do things a different way, and they were saying rude and just disrespectful comments about the way that I run my classroom. You know what? You guys got it. Run the classroom how you'd like without me. See how well the kids do. So I grabbed my stuff, I waited for my break to come, I clocked out, and I left. Never to return again because I'm done. Driving home, part of me felt so bad for the way that things ended, but part of me felt so relieved. It was literally a weight lifted off of my shoulders. I feel like I can smile and breathe again and live life again. You guys let me know. Do you think I'm crazy for this? Would you have stayed, or would you have quit the way that I did? Comment down below if you've ever had a job that pushed you past your breaking point, because I want to hear what it was. This was mine.
Serious question. What are we doing to stay mentally sane? Like, I'm getting to a point in my life where my job is literally sucking the life out of me. Like, this is probably the most unhappy I've been ever in my entire life. I feel like I'm like low-key losing myself. Or like I feel like there are parts of me that are dying because my job literally sucks whatever life I could have, it takes away. By the time the weekends come, lately I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to go nowhere. I don't want to be bothered. It's to the point where my grandmother asks me, why you don't have a life? Because I don't want to rip and run and go out on the weekends just to have to go back to a hectic work week. And I didn't rest. And I didn't replenish myself. I didn't get the well-needed, deserved mental reset that I need just to prepare for Monday. So I'm very curious, what are y'all doing? For those who work jobs that they just sincerely, wholeheartedly do not like, but you have to work the job. Like, this is the first time I've ever worked a job that I did not like, and I had to work it because I have so many responsibilities that go beyond myself. And I feel like I've never been in a situation where I was just forced. I feel like I'm being forced to do something that I genuinely don't want to do. Any advice? Because what are y'all doing to keep yourself mentally sane, to help deal with anxiety, to help deal with anger and frustration? Like, what are we doing?
Does your job making you sick? Because mine sure did. I'm going to tell you something. I started off as a very healthy individual, only to be beat down for like 10 years out of my 20-year career. And when I mean by beat down, I mean just treated in the worst way. And I'm a fairly strong person, and I usually don't let anybody talk down to me or do anything to me. But every person that is watching this video, you already understand that when your check is tied to you getting along with people and you just going along with the flow, that is what I did for so many years until I realized that it wasn't worth it. You see, I had developed anxiety, depression, and PTSD based on the chronic stress of being beat down and dealing with workplace bullying and mobbing each and every day. And I'm telling you guys, it's not worth it, because if you drop dead today, best believe they are filling your position tomorrow. So I went from this vibrant person who loved their job and was very health conscious and everything to just waking up and just dreading my day. And when you wake up and dread your day, you already know you are in the wrong space. You're in the wrong head space, you're in the wrong energy space, and then you go into an environment that just compounds that. And a lot of these employers that are allowing toxic work environments, they know this. They know exactly what they're doing. And what you guys may not realize, but I've done my research and me in my healing journey, because it took me about 2 years to get to where I am today, where I can talk to you. And these stories, I think I probably have about 200 and something videos on my YouTube channel. That's not even scratching the surface of my experiences. Again, you guys, I went through this for like 10 years, and thank God I have been away from that toxic work environment for a little bit over 5 years. So I want to be the example of what not to do. When you get the nudges from God, divine, universe, whomever, this is a non-denominational channel here. So please don't come at me with the Bible verses. There's different people that watch this channel. We are all about workplace bullying, abuse, and mobbing. I'm strictly talking about where you get your your strength from, okay? Where your faith is. Wherever you have to plug into, that's what I had to do to finally get myself out of this rut. Because you guys, I was having nightmares. I gained like 45 pounds. I was drinking more than I would ever thought I would drink. I was popping a pill just to go to work. And you guys, the whole situation, it just went from 0 to 100, and I don't even know where I lost myself, but I lost myself in just trying to do the work, trying to be the best employee that I could be, only for me not to be appreciated. So I want you guys to put your health first, because health is wealth, and so is your time. And time is something that you can't get back. Your energy, you can't get that back either. And so if you have something to give, make sure that you're giving it to places and people that appreciate you. And if you find yourself declining in your health, whether it be mentally or physically, you got to make sure that you're looking out for you. You got to make sure that you're doing what's best for you. Again, let me be the shining example of what not to do. When I was tapped on the shoulder for so many years saying, hey, Chris, you're better than this. Hey, you can find something else. And in my mind, I was like, no, I can't. I've been here since I was 18 years old, and I co-opted and I worked myself up the ladder, and I can see myself retiring from here, only for God to tell me, no, baby, I got another plan for you. And clearly my plan was to go through all this so that I can help millions and millions of people out there. And that is my intention every time I turn on this camera so that I'm helping each and every one of you. So again, if it's not making you feel good, if it is not contributing to your health and your happiness, by all means, I don't care how much money, because I tell you, when I told my husband, he was like, no more. I need you here for my kids. I need you here for me. And my doctor saw what I didn't see, and my family was seeing what I wasn't seeing, and I'm trying to hang on to this job because I'm like, no, I can handle it. And they're like, no, you can't. How many panic attacks are you going to have? How many times are you going to go to the hospital? How many times are you going to be rushed to urgent care? It's not worth it. So if you had even a third of my experiences, think twice about where you're working. And if your job is making you sick, you need to find some place that is going to support your wellness. So I hope this message helps someone out there. I'm Kristen Peoples with bossofculture.org. Bye.
Previously, on another day in a life working in corporate as a 26-year-old, I would have never thought this week would have been my last week working there. Big girl, that micromanaging, that passive aggressiveness, sabotaging my opportunities, always looking for perfection in my work, facing more criticism than congratulations, favoritism, and don't even get me started on the pay. And it's crazy because, I really was excited about this role at first, but let me tell you something. I woke up this morning and I was, something in me told me that I need to say that removal prayer. Normally I say this removal prayer over dating and, meeting new friends and new opportunities. But I was literally noticing every time I would say this prayer, I said it twice this week. I got my answer in seconds. And every time I got that answer, I felt spiritually attacked. And it was revealed to me, not just now, but over time that I was being, plotted against and being documented, not even just to, upper management, but also to HR. I said, damn, really, y'all really trying to get me up out of here. But it's cool, I'm glad I was able to, apply to other jobs while I was, working here. So I ain't really tripping. I just hurried up and put that resignation letter in and boom, that was it, baby. Y'all not about to use no ammo or create this narrative of me making it seem like I'm just in here not doing what I'm supposed to do when I am. So I just know God got a bigger calling on my life and it is what it is. Y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feel about, working in corporate. But yeah, y'all, it's a wrap on a day in a life working in corporate as a 26-year-old. Bye, y'all.
Y'all, tell me why I just got off work and quit. Like, quite literally. I clocked out, got home, text them that I resigned effective immediately, which means don't call me, don't text me, don't try to reason, don't try to get me to stay. Like, no, I'm done. I'm done with long-term care. Like, y'all done played in my face too many times. All y'all nursing homes. So, no, I'm not going to do that. I can make the same amount of money, if not more, and do less work. Not saying that I'm a lazy nurse, but the stuff that y'all be wanting us to do in long term, like overwork, underpaid, go home mentally exhausted, I'm not doing it no more. Like, I'm going to take care of me. So me taking care of me kind of almost was like, quit your job, basically. And don't worry, literally have another job lined up, a job that I prayed for, a job that I've been wanting to do since I became a nurse. So, yeah, up out of there.
Here is the harsh truth about toxic workplaces. You can't repair them. You outlast them or you walk away. I'm going to say what most people are too polite to admit. No amount of hustle will fix a place that runs on dysfunction. No level of loyalty will reform leadership that protects its own bad behavior. If the culture rewards politics over performance, if accountability only flows downward, if the highest performers are exhausted and the worst behavior is excused, that's an infrastructure problem. And here's where it gets dangerous. The longer you stay, the more your standards adjust. You start calling chaos fast-paced. You call disrespect direct. You call burnout just a busy season. You shrink to survive it. You stop raising your hand. You stop challenging decisions. You start double-checking your tone instead of their behavior. That's what toxic systems do. They normalize the abnormal. And I need you to hear this clearly. It's not your job to fix a company that is comfortable being broken. You are not the culture committee. You are not the emotional support human for poor leadership. You are not required to martyr yourself for a paycheck. You have two real options. Outlast it while you build your exit strategy, or walk when you're ready. But stop trying to save a place that isn't trying to save you. Set it down, protect your capacity, and choose places where respect isn't a perk, it's a baseline.
Let's talk about toxic workplaces. Hi, my name is Christina, and I originally started this TikTok off documenting a surrogacy journey. Well, that didn't work out, but that's a story for another day. Today, I'm here to tell you about toxic workplaces. Hopefully, somebody can relate, because I have been through the ringer lately. And I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I will just say that I have been a lunch lady for the last 3 years at an elementary school, and I have loved my job. Loved my job. I started as a general food service worker. I served, and then I got my Serve Safe certification, and I was able to start doing cooking and stuff like that, which was really cool. I enjoyed seeing the kids. I have my kids that I talk to every day, and I love seeing the kids. Everything about the job I loved. Plus, I got to see my kids too, because they went there. Everything about the job I loved, except for drum roll, please. My manager. My coworkers were the best. And yes, I say were because I am no longer working there. Things got so bad that it started taking a toll on my health. It wasn't outwardly aggressive. It was very passive aggressive, the energy in my workplace. But it chipped away. It chipped away at me year after year. It definitely broke me down. And it got to the point where I started having high blood pressure. I started having like heart palpitations, and I didn't know what was going on with me. I thought I was having health issues unrelated to what it actually was, which was just stress from work. Over the years, I have been repeatedly ignored, like I'm invisible. I've noticed, little chatter under, mumbling under the breath, or just a crappy attitude towards me, while other people were spoken to with, friendliness. I was not getting that friendly conversation. But I just try to keep I try to keep my head down and do my job, and I was there to earn a paycheck, and we had multiple meetings about it with our bosses and stuff, and tried to work things out, but this never resolved. It continued to be what it was until I mentally and physically and emotionally could no longer take it. And it resulted in me having my first panic attack. Yeah, I had my first panic attack. And it was horrifying. I've never had a panic attack before, and I hope I never have one again. But the stress that's been building up throughout the year was just so bad that my body my nervous system couldn't take it anymore. So unfortunately, I had to leave the position. Nobody really tells you how mentally draining it can be working in a place where somebody is treating you poorly. You enjoy the job, you enjoy your other coworkers, but that one person can make a world of a difference where you're going every single day. You spend a big portion of your life at work, and I couldn't do it anymore. I did not want to step away from my position. I love working close to my children. I love working close to the kids in general. And I love them dearly, and I'm very, very sad that I had to leave. But my mental and emotional health has to take precedent, and I'm really, really sad in general. I don't think it's fair that there can be people out there who treat their employees the way that they treat them. I just don't get it. I could never be that person. I think that nobody really tells you how it can affect you as bad as it does. Kind of like a relationship where, you've got like a covert narcissist or something like that. And they just chip away at you and you don't realize you're being traumatized until you leave. And then you have all these trauma responses that you're like, oh man, I guess I was being traumatized. That's how I feel. So if you're in a toxic workplace and you know you're in a toxic workplace, it's not worth staying. It is not. I don't know what I'm going to do. I will find my way. I have to find my way. And your mental and physical, emotional, everything, well-being is worth more than staying at whatever job you're staying at. Don't do it. I can't do it anymore.
At a point when the chosen one wakes up, you have to realize that these jobs are spiritual warfare. Just take it like this. When somebody else do something at the job, they tend to get away with it. But as soon as the chosen one do it, here come the boss coming and barking orders at you like you just done did something so wrong. But the other people been lollygagging all day. And you look at it like this just ain't fair. You try to go to the office, they don't care nothing about it. These jobs love low value people. If you're a high value, you're going to be hated in the job force, especially if you're chosen. The jobs is not made for us. We got to get out and start our own thing, people. Stay chosen out here.